Did you know that African rulers once controlled Egypt? For centuries, a false narrative has dominated our understanding of the continent, painting a picture of a land without history, civilization, or innovation before European contact. This simply isn't true. Today, we're diving deep into the real story, uncovering the vibrant tapestry of African civilizations that thrived long before European colonialism. We'll explore powerful kingdoms, sophisticated writing systems, thriving trade networks, and remarkable technological advancements that have been hidden in the shadows of biased historical accounts. This is the story of Africa's true past. The myth of a historyless Africa served as a cornerstone of colonial ideology. It was used to justify the transatlantic slave trade, the seizure of African lands, and the imposition of brutal colonial rule. The argument went that if African societies were uncivilized, then European domination was a civilizing mission. But the evidence tells a very different story. Let's start at the very beginning, with one of the most iconic civilizations of the ancient world, ancient Egypt. Emerging as a unified state around 3100 BC under the rule of Nama, who is often credited with uniting Upper and Lower Egypt, it developed a complex socio-political structure, monumental architecture, and a rich cultural heritage thousands of years before many European societies even existed. But Egypt wasn't alone. South of Egypt, in present-day Sudan, the kingdom of Kama flourished from around 2500 to 1500 BC. Kama was a powerful rival to Egypt, demonstrating advanced urban planning, intricate pottery, and impressive burial customs. The kingdom of Kush, centered at Napata and later Meroe, rose to prominence around 1000 BC. The Kushites were so powerful that they even ruled Egypt during the 25th dynasty, from approximately 744 to 656 BC. Kings like Pi, Shabaka, Tahaka, and Tantamoni controlled the Nile Valley, leaving their mark on Egyptian history and culture. One of the most overlooked aspects of Kushite civilization is the city of Meroe. From the 3rd century BC to the 4th century CE, Meroe became a major political and industrial center. Archaeological evidence reveals large-scale iron smelting operations, making Meroe a vital hub for iron production and trade. This industrial capacity supported the kingdom's military strength and economic prosperity. Further east, in present-day Ethiopia and Eritrea, the Aksumite Empire flourished from the 1st to the 8th century CE. King Ezona's conversion to Christianity in the 4th century CE, around 330 CE, transformed Aksum into one of the earliest Christian empires in the world. Aksum developed its own writing system, Guizi, and traded extensively with the Roman Empire, India, and other regions. Moving westward, in present-day Nigeria, the Nok culture thrived from around 1000 BC to 300 CE. The Nok people were pioneers in ironworking technology and created remarkable terracotta sculptures that are now recognized as masterpieces of African art. These sculptures provide valuable insights into the Nok's sophisticated social and religious beliefs. In southern Africa, Great Zimbabwe stood as a testament to the architectural and engineering prowess of African societies. Built by ancestors of the Shona people, Great Zimbabwe flourished from the 11th to the 15th century CE, with its peak period between 1200 and 1450 CE. The massive stone structures, constructed without mortar, served as royal residences, religious centers, and symbols of power and prestige. For far too long, colonial narratives falsely attributed Great Zimbabwe to outsiders like Phoenicians or Arabs. This racist theory was used to deny African agency and undermine the achievements of local populations. Archaeological research has definitively proven that Great Zimbabwe was built by local African societies, specifically the Shona-speaking people. In West Africa, the Mali Empire rose to prominence in the 13th century, following Sundiata Keita's victory at the Battle of Kyrenia in 1235. The empire reached its zenith under Manso Musa, whose pilgrimage to Mecca in the 14th century brought West Africa to the attention of the wider world. Timbuktu, a major city within the Mali Empire, became a center of Islamic scholarship and trade. The Songhai Empire succeeded the Mali Empire as the dominant power in West Africa, flourishing from 1464 to 1591. Under the leadership of Askar Muhammad I, who reigned from 1493 to 1528, the Songhai Empire expanded its territory, promoted Islamic learning, and established a sophisticated administrative system. Timbuktu continued to thrive as a center of scholarship, attracting scholars and students from across the Muslim world. Contrary to the myth of African intellectual inferiority, Timbuktu was a beacon of knowledge and learning. Thousands of manuscripts covering law, astronomy, theology, medicine, poetry, and commerce were produced and preserved in the city's libraries. These manuscripts provide invaluable insights into the intellectual life of medieval West Africa. Further south, in present-day southern Nigeria, the Benin Empire emerged as a major state by at least the 13th century. The Benin Empire was renowned for its royal court art, particularly its bronze castings, and its sophisticated urban planning. Benin City was described by Portuguese visitors in the late 15th century as a large, well-organized city with wide roads and extensive earthworks. The city's defensive walls were among the largest pre-modern earthworks in the world. In Central Africa, the Congo Kingdom formed in the late 14th century, encompassing parts of modern-day Angola, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Gabon. The Congo Kingdom developed a complex political system, a thriving agricultural economy, and a vibrant cultural tradition. Beyond these well-known empires and kingdoms, Africa boasted a diverse range of writing systems. Egyptian hieroglyphs, dating back to around 3200 BCE, are among the oldest known writing systems in the world. Meroitic script, which appeared in the 2nd century BC, remains only partially deciphered, hinting at the rich linguistic diversity of ancient Nubia. Guizi script, originating in the Horn of Africa, became associated with the Ethiopian literary tradition, producing a wealth of religious and secular texts. Ajami traditions later adapted Arabic script for African languages in many Islamic societies across West and East Africa, preserving local knowledge and cultural identity. Africa was also deeply connected to global trade networks. The trans-Saharan trade, which expanded significantly by the 7th and 8th centuries CE, facilitated the exchange of goods between West Africa and North Africa. Gold from West Africa was highly sought after, while salt from the Sahara mines was essential for preserving food. Other major trade goods included ivory, leather, kola nuts, textiles, and tragically, enslaved people. The Indian Ocean trade connected East Africa with Arabia, India, Persia, and later China. Swahili city-states, such as Kilwa, Mombasa, and Malindi, thrived from the 10th century onward, serving as hubs for commerce and cultural exchange. These city-states developed a unique Swahili culture, blending African, Arab, and Persian influences. It's important to remember that Europeans themselves encountered and documented complex African societies. Leo Africanus, born in 1494, provided detailed accounts of North and West African societies in the 16th century. Mungo Park traveled the Niger River in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, documenting the political and economic systems of the region. James Bruce visited Ethiopia in the 18th century, describing the Aksumite heritage and the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. David Livingstone and other explorers encountered established states, trade systems, and political institutions, not the empty or timeless societies that colonial narratives portrayed. The Kushite pharaoh Tahaka, for example, is referenced in biblical and Egyptian sources, highlighting the interconnectedness of the ancient world. The myth of African inferiority was often used to justify the removal of cultural artifacts from the continent. The ongoing debates surrounding the repatriation of the Benin bronzes and other looted objects underscore the importance of recognizing African ownership of its cultural heritage. These artifacts are not merely objects, they are integral parts of African history, culture, and identity. Modern African states are increasingly drawing on their ancient and medieval history to build national identity and cultural confidence. Ethiopia proudly links its modern statehood to its Aksumite heritage. Sudan is placing greater emphasis on its Nubian and Kushite history. Zimbabwe derives its very name from Great Zimbabwe, a symbol of national pride and achievement. Historic sites are also becoming major tourism and cultural assets, generating economic opportunities and promoting cultural exchange. The pyramids of Meroe in Sudan, Great Zimbabwe, the Aksum obelisks, and the Timbuktu manuscripts are all attracting visitors from around the world, contributing to local economies and fostering a greater appreciation for African history. The debunking of the no history myth is not just an academic exercise, it has profound implications for our understanding of world history, for the self-image of Africans, and for the fight against racism and discrimination. By recognizing the rich and diverse history of Africa, we can challenge colonial legacies, promote social justice, and build a more equitable future for all. Africa was not a passive recipient of history, it was an active participant, a major engine of innovation, trade, and cultural exchange. It's time to tell the real story. Area view of the pyramids of Meroe in Sudan, sunrise, golden light, vast desert landscape, cinematic 8K.